Yo, Twitch, YouTube, what's good? It is your boy here, K to the I to the D, Neil 24, and we are here to talk some NBA today on We Talk NBA. I am your host, and today I got a special group of fellas here with me to talk some NBA trade deadline deals and a few other things to mix in. So I'm gonna start by introducing the panel one by one. Today we got uh, the savant of basketball, Mr. Thomas. What's good, bro?
Man, you know what's funny? I knew you were gonna say that was me, so I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to toot my own horn. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit that button real fast. Toot. What it do, fellas? How y'all doing?
All
Good.
right. And then also we got one half of the Jay and Will show. My bro Will, what's good?
Out here chilling, man. Ready to talk some basketball. Been a couple weeks. I'm ready for it.
All right. All right. And stop the presses, don't go too far. The manifester of the Luca Magic himself is in the building. King, what's up, bro?
Nothing much, fellas. You know I'm here to talk some ish.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, the CEO, the extraordinaire himself. Rail, what's up, my brother?
What's good, everybody? What's good, man? It's ready to talk this basketball.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So we're gonna get this thing cracking. And first, we're gonna start out by the obvious one, the big dog of them all. The first one that we're going to discuss of the trade deadline is going to be the trade between the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. The two main pieces in that trade were James Harden and Ben Simmons. We're going to go around, get our thoughts on that trade, what we think is going to be, what's the pluses, what's the minus, and how it'll look going forward. So I'm gonna start with the savant. I'm gonna start with you, Thomas.
Talk to me, then. Uh, let's just be honest. It's 50-50 for me. I think this is 50-50 trade, and that's because Kevin hurt right now. Kyrie can only play so many games. So even if Ben came right now, what they gonna do? Uh, James is James. I'm not gonna play like he's not a great player right now. He's still a great player right now. I think him and Embiid, they can really do some damage. Uh, I think they can do some damage, but I think going from Andre Drummond to Millsap is gonna be a big dip in production. Leaving out Seth Curry going over there, another big dip in production. So I mean, overall, I'm gonna give. Yeah, I just be honest with you. I give both of them about a C plus. You know what I mean? Because if Durant was healthy right now and Kyrie can play every game, it might be a little different for the Nets. But I think overall, maybe the Nets won. Maybe if you want to look like that, overall, maybe they won. But right now, Harden and Embiid playing. So unless Embiid get hurt, there's no ups for Philadelphia right now. So that's how I look at it.
All right, Will, what you got?
To me, I think Brooklyn comes out a little on the plus side because they have a first team defender in Ben Simmons. Yeah, his offense has been lacking, which we all know. But their defense is something serious. It's some when he is on the court, you know that he brings that defense, and that's something that James didn't have. When it comes to having Seth on the court, the way he's been shooting this year. So, yeah, Thomas is right that you can't get a full picture with KD out. And then Kyrie only playing half the games at this point because he can't play in New York. But the fact that you will have a bona fide defender that can cover all five spots, you have a shooter that can that's bullseye, and then you throw in Andre Drummond. Hey, dude can get you some good rebounds. He can clog up the middle defensively when need be as well. So I think right now, even without KD, once they get these guys on the floor, I think that's going to stop this 10-game losing streak that they're on, and they're going to actually be able to build up. And then, so once KD gets back in, boom, they'll be much better. And then on the flip side, when it comes to Philly, yeah, they have both of them. Like Charles said, now that James got traded, he'll be healthy and he'll be out there on the court now. But I think Philly's just gonna be balling because what Joel's been doing this year, like the constant 30s and 40s that he's been dropping for what about 2 months now, something crazy. Uh, so now you have two, and that's what he's needed is somebody that can control the ball, that can put in a bucket consistently. But their defense will dip with Harden, of course, which will hurt. So JoJo's defense is just going to have to be even that bigger when it comes to being able to defend or being able to protect the rim because of how when it comes to Harden's lack of defense. Which I got.
Okay. Okay. Real, what's your take on this move?
Man, it's kind of funny because we've been hearing all what the last month that Harden might get traded, and then all of a sudden the news switched and said he wasn't getting traded, and then all of a sudden, like at the 11th hour, he gets traded. And we've always been hearing that it was going to eventually be between him and Ben Simmons, and it finally happened because we know the connection between him and Dan Tony. Everybody wanted to see Harden in Philly, especially Dan Tony. But I it was a trade I feel like both sides won because James Harden was going to be a free agent, and it was already news that he wasn't going to sign back, and so it was actually for Brooklyn's best interest to get something back in return. And why not get somebody who's like what 9, 10 years younger than him, and who's actually a perennial All Star and a perennial probably the best on ball defender in the league. And we know one of the struggles that the Nets have is on defense. So what better person to add to that than Ben Simmons, one of the actual best perimeter defender in the league, with two offensive minded players like KD and Kyrie. And so to me, man, I think both of these teams won the trade, man. I think that Philly needed somebody, and he'll kind of take care of that offensive load, a perimeter guy, help Embiid. And then, of course, like I said, Brooklyn got that defensive guy that they needed in Ben Simmons. So I think it was a win-win for both sides.
All right. And last but not least, King, what you got, brother?
Nothing much. You know I got to be the oddball in the conversation.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I
I'm
love it.
I'm
I love it.
I'm gonna say that I think Brooklyn made out on the trade. Well, possibly. I think Brooklyn may have the best setup for the future. I think Philadelphia lost this trade. I think this was crazy for Philadelphia to do this. Um, One, Joel, I don't know what James Harden they're getting. I think James Harden wants to be that guy, and I don't think that's the smartest decision for them to do with Joel Embiid playing the way he's playing right now. I also think James Harden has now been traded twice now in 2 years. And if you watch We Talk Mavs, cheap plug, I talk about patterns all the time. And James Harden now has a pattern of getting traded and doing producing at a lower level now. So I think he may be going towards his decline because that refereeing and officiating isn't changing anytime soon. I do think Brooklyn has a guy in Ben Simmons that hasn't reached his full potential yet. Like I'm dying to see him play with a Kevin Durant and even a Kyrie Irving. I think Ben Simmons is the best defender in the NBA. So they have a guy that can do that. And they also gained Drummond, who was being laughed at as far as the Lakers last year. But as far as for this team and what they need, a guy that can get rebounds, what they try to get DeAndre Jordan to be,
Exactly.
I think that's going to be a big pickup for them. And they got 2 first-round picks from Philadelphia. And we didn't even talk about Seth Curry yet, who is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. This
Yes,
team
sir.
is, I think this team actually got scarier especially if Kyrie Irving gets to a point where he can play now than when he had James Harden. And I think Daryl Morey, with his love fest of James Harden, I think this is going to bite him in the butt. This is now the second time that James Harden has given up on the team and shown that he goes and do extracurricular activities. He doesn't care if he isn't getting things his way. And another thing with Philadelphia, I don't I don't watch every Philadelphia game. Obviously, I watch as much NBA as I can, but I don't see what's his name, Joel Embiid doing a bunch of pick and rolls because I think they try to preserve his legs with the cutting and all that goes on. So I don't think James Harden and Joel Embiid is going to do a bunch of pick and roll action, which means that goes back to Dwight Howard with James Harden all over again, in my opinion. So I just don't see it. I wouldn't have given that much. I'd have waited till the offseason. I know they wanted to not give up on Joel Embiid's MVP case, but this may actually hurt it even more. So I don't know. I don't feel the James Harden. I know we go on James Harden's past existence and his MVP and coming close to MVPs before, but that isn't the same James Harden that's on the court right now and hasn't been on the court since he injured his hamstring. So I'm just afraid for Philadelphia. They may just screw their future after going through the whole process, and then all of it comes to an end.
Yeah. So I think for me, I would say that Brooklyn did win this. The one thing I could see that may be an issue may be Ben Simmons' mental state for playing in games. Being on this stage, Philly is a tough crowd, and being in New York, being in Brooklyn, that's a tough crowd too. So that may factor into the way his gameplay, his style. But I feel like it's a better fit for him to be there in Brooklyn. So now he gets to be Ben Simmons. He gets to do what Ben Simmons does. He gets to move the ball. He gets to go to the hole. He don't have to shoot. Just point blank period. He doesn't have to shoot now. So he gets to play Ben Simmons basketball. So overall, I feel like Brooklyn did win this. It's going to be interesting to see which James Harden we do get. Like King said, he basically has quit on 2 teams so far. And it's starting to show that if you not up to par where he wants you to be, he gonna give up. Joe is playing some ball. And if this doesn't mesh well, this might just cost Daryl Morey his job, and they might have to start the process all over again.
Yep.
I know it came down to them either sending Thibault or Maxey out. I understand why they wouldn't want to send either one of those guys out because they're amazing. But me personally, I don't want to give up Seth Curry. I don't want to give him up because he's a bona fide shooter. He's kept you guys in quite a few games, so you don't really want to get that piece up. But like I say, overall, I feel like Brooklyn won this trade.
Agreed.
Let me ask you a question. Who shoots threes now on Philly?
Matisse Thybulle.
Is it Maxey?
Oh,
Is it Maxey?
And
Jojo had Maxey.
I guess they don't have a 3-point
Doc
shooter.
Rivers.
Exactly.
Hey, Doc was nice when he shot threes.
Yeah, he was nice. He was nice in Atlanta, back then. But you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Doc, that's the running joke.
James Harden
Doc gonna be threes now.
This reminds me of Carmelo Anthony all over again. I feel like the year with New York Knicks, where they just waited until the offseason.
Yep, 1 year. Yep.
I feel like this is Carmelo Anthony all over again.
That'd be nasty.
I got that same feeling for this trade.
We're gonna mix up a little later.
Great comparison, bro. Great comparison.
That'd be tough.
Yeah. All right. So the next one I want to talk about is the move between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Portland Trailblazers, where they sent C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell over, and in Portland receives Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Tomas Saransky, and some protected picks. And there's 2 future 2nd rounders. So I'm gonna flip it this time. Will, you seem kind of disgusted with this trade, brother. So
I
I'm gonna start
am.
with
I
you.
am. I am. All right. So if y'all would have watched the video, it was like our beginning of the NBA season or before the season. We was talking NBA. We was talking Mavericks, and my thing was what Dallas should do is go after Brandon Ingram. Just his skill set, his the way that he's been getting better. Like that's the dude that Dallas should have gone after. Because it's 2 players that I want on the Mavericks. It's DeMar DeRozan and Bi. I've been going for them for years. I think it would have been best for them to get to go after him early on because of his talent, but because New Orleans was struggling, like they were bottom of the league, they was outside the play-in. Now that they've been stacking wins together, they've gotten better. Now they're in the play-in. Now they were buyers instead of sellers. So now with this trade, it makes it that much harder to be able to get Bi off that team. So I think Dallas blew that chance of being able to do that. And I think for when it comes to New Orleans, they are a better team with CJ, but that's only if he's actually on the court. Like these injuries that he's been having over the past few years is what makes it really tough. When he's actually on, yeah, when he's on the court, he's on the court. But also he has to be able to allow for Bi, for Zion, for the younger guys to still be able to do their thing without actually taking the ball out of their hand too often, you know. But that's the big thing. Like, yeah, I think for the whole point of this trade was for New Orleans to get better, Portland to get off of some contracts and to be able to basically rebuild, going into a rebuild at this point. Both teams were able to do what they wanted, but it also helped hurt Dallas in trying to get Brandon Ingram, which I hate. Hated that.
Yes, sir. All right, Rel, what you got, man? What you think about this one?
Well, it's kind of like what Will was saying. I completely forgot that New Orleans was in the hunt for the play-in,
Mhm.
and I think they really want to try to build on as much as they can, as far as like not necessarily being in a shoe in as a playoff spot, but you want to play for something. And so, if you have a chance to play for the play-in, I guess you put all your chips in the table, man, and just try to go for it. And like he said, you still got Bi. He's balling, over there in New Orleans. Just need somebody to kind of help him, keep this team afloat until Zion gets back. And so, who better than somebody who can fit up and can also hold a team afloat too. So you put those two together, and they're their chances right there. But for Portland, man, I was watching. I was kind of like just combing through YouTube and just kind of listening to a lot of different shows like ours who talk about these different teams and stuff like in their cities or whatever. And a lot of them are kind of scratching their heads right now on Portland. They don't understand what Portland's doing. I kind of feel for Dame. I think this would have been a chance right here for. I think Dame should jump ship last year. I think he should have jumped ship last year. But we know how he is. He's kind of one of those prideful players. He does not want to say that he gives up. He wants to leave. He wants to prove that he can stay with one team and try to get it done with one team, which I understand. But bro, they're taking all your pieces away, man. They're not giving you nothing really back in return. It's like now you're trying to with this trade here, they're trying to make room and build up assets to get people, which we all know that Portland is not a destination. It hasn't been a destination since he's been there. So it's going to be hard for people to say, you know what, I'm gonna go to Portland now. You know what I'm saying? When they didn't do that before, even when they had the cap space with CJ and with Dame, now you're just gonna have Dame, and you expect the people to say, you know what, they got cap space now. Now I'm gonna go over there. That's not how that works. And so, for as a basketball fan, I feel for Dame because I like him. I feel like he has grinded and carried that franchise as long as he's been in the league, and I feel like needs a chance to try to go for a championship, but it's not gonna be in Portland. So, but I feel like New Orleans won that trade though, man, out of those two.
All right, all right, King, what you got?
I'm gonna flip it from a different perspective.
Okay,
Actually,
I seen that coming.
Exactly. I kind of believe.
I'm surprised.
I think Portland. I think Portland won the trade. I'm gonna tell you why I think Portland won the trade. I think Portland's come to terms so I think Portland has won the overall trade, but I think the outcome doesn't benefit either team. That's why I think New Orleans is going to fail. So I think Portland understands that Dame time is about to be over. Like they understand nobody's coming there, and that this whole situation is coming to an end soon. They're going to take New Orleans' assets, and they sent CJ McCollum to New Orleans. CJ McCollum isn't taking New Orleans to the level that Zion's going to want to be at to play for New Orleans. So then that means Zion's still going to leave. So that's why the whole the BI.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't saying that Zion going to stay because of that trade. I'm just saying they made this trade for this year, pretty much.
But what I mean is that they made the trade for this year, but what is it? New Orleans is still going to be a horrible team, which means their assets that they gave up are still going to benefit Portland because they're not the ultimate goal. They went and got CJ McCollum to help Zion and to help you bring someone there so Zion to possibly stay. I don't think CJ McCollum is enough for Zion to stay in New Orleans. Yeah, I don't think CJ McCollum is enough to convince Zion to stay, which means New Orleans will still be a play-in team or maybe lower than that without Zion. And Portland, will then have their assets. Dame will leave, and then hopefully they'll find someone in the draft with the process having draft picks like they're supposed to do. I don't think CJ McCollum was enough for all that talent that you gave back and the draft pick that you gave to Portland. That's just my opinion. I know people are saying CJ McCollum, they got CJ McCollum to help, but if it's not going to help Zion to actually be there, then is it really help?
Yeah. All right, Thomas, what you say about it, brother?
I'm trying to find what I sent to y'all in this group text, but I can't find it. But listen here, let's be honest. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's real.
Let's just be honest. I was trying to find it. I was trying to be. Who cares? Number one, like you say, the CJ and Dame experiment just didn't work. It's been years that truly, right, that they really had a good team, but they couldn't get over the hump. Yeah. They really couldn't get over the hump. No matter what, they couldn't get over the hump. Game 7, Game 6, they couldn't do it. I never looked at CJ McCollum as a number 2. Forgive me, y'all. I never looked at it as a number 2, maybe number 3. Just to be honest with you. He could put up 18 to 23 points, but that's about it. He's not doing nothing else. He's not doing nothing else. And so that right there, just who cares? I don't care who won the trade. Actually, somebody said it earlier. Portland just got some cap space, but guess what? Like I said before, ain't nobody coming there.
Yeah,
you know who coming there? People on the 1-1. Let me get a play. Let me get that 1 year in the player option. That's it. When you have nowhere else to go. Carmelo Anthony, that's where he went. I don't care how much people say, oh, he did this. Guess what? He went there. There's the only team that took him. Mm-hmm. We'll be honest with you, only team that took him. And so it should have been Dame this year. What year is this for Dame? 10, 11, what's it?
I thought it was 8.
Yeah, I think it's like 8 too.
Is it 8?
Yeah. I think
it's 8.
No, I thought it was more than that.
He's been longer.
Not more than that. He got 9 shoes up.
It must be about 10. It's 10. He's been in the league 10 years already.
He had to be 10 because he got 9 pairs.
Yeah. So this is he was drafted in 2012. So it started in 21. So
right. So guess what?
That's crazy.
So guess what? He got. I mean, this should have been his year. Last year should have been his year. Last year should have been. You know what? Kevin Garnett did. Let's make something happen and go somewhere else. Because it's not working.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It hasn't been working, and it's not going to work. Right? That's just Portland. Who cares? Here we go to the Pels. Guess what? Who cares? Number one, why? Because the Pels, you know what the Pels said? We don't want to start over again because if we lose too much, we got to draft low. We'll draft another player, maybe a good player, but guess what? We got to start all over again. So the Pels said, let me go and get a couple years on CJ. Maybe he could turn some around. And even if Zion don't come back, we do have somebody that could play with BI, and we have an OG in the team, right? And so maybe, but guess what? They gonna keep him. They don't keep him in the mid tier. They still right underneath. So their draft pick still gonna be sour. You see what I'm saying? It's still gonna be sour because it's not like whatever they got from the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers gonna fall off. Not like they gonna get nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get nothing. So they just did it right because they losing here go the pills. They're losing money because Zion's not there. So let me get another star, or half a star, or half a star, and CJ to bring in some more revenue, right, to replace some stuff that we losing. So what, we
Yeah.
play CJ this little money, but guess what? Overall, who cares? It was a nothing trade. Nobody cares.
I mean, y'all
Hey,
pretty much said everything. Y'all
Yeah,
said it
that's
all,
all,
bro.
bro.
Like, I don't need to
I just
add to
won't be
none of that.
asked.
So my question is though, does the move? Do you think that Dame eventually changes his mind?
I
Yeah,
think they'll end up trading
I
him.
hope
Yeah,
so.
I think, or do you think he'll just walk?
he can't walk. He signed the extension, didn't
yeah, he signed it. But Dame just
Yeah.
told LeBron on IG to get him to make that call.
he? Man, that was last. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. And they ain't trading. I mean, they want to trade Russ, but Portland ain't going. Portland ain't that crazy to get Russ.
It's a hell of a
They ain't that
contract.
crazy. Maybe
We
He
last
got
year, but not this
he
year.
can't. That's what I'm saying. The Lakers can't do it. Portland not that
Yeah,
crazy. I'm just saying
yeah,
Dame doesn't want to say he wants to leave. That's Dame's problem.
Yeah.
Dame is feels like he's
They gonna
loyal
have
to
to they gonna have to
Portland.
do it for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to
Yeah.
do it for him because he doesn't want to actually say it. He feels like he's gonna have something against him if he does that. So that's the whole thing. Basically, I guess to a
It's
point
kind of like
where
KG,
yeah,
like Thomas said,
uh-huh,
King.
right.
Remember
Yeah.
KG
yeah.
that year he went to
uh-huh,
Boston? He really didn't want to leave. And
yeah,
they was like, man, look, they kind of like pushed him out the door. Like, man, you deserve this. We're gonna send you to this
And
Yeah.
championship
guess
competitive
who
You
did
team,
it
deserve
right?
for
better.
KG?
And
That
Zach, then they
wasn't
do.
that was my bad, y'all. That was Kevin McHale, right? And so
Yeah.
because they got Chauncey Billups, who is also a point guard
Yeah.
in Portland, he should say, guess what, y'all? Listen, we can't keep doing Dame like this. Let's
Yeah.
find something for him. Let's do something
Yeah.
for him and let us start over. It's
Yes,
not working.
sir.
10 years in, it's not working. He got $300 million. It's not working. Ain't nothing we can do about it. It's not working.
Okay. So we can all agree that Zion is basically gone. We can all agree to that,
Yeah.
right?
He's going to New York.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they both are.
he going to New York, bro.
Yeah. He's going to New York.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the next one I want to shed some light on. It was the trade between the Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers. The Sacramento Kings got back
Oh, no, this is
DeMontis Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb in a 2027 second round pick. And Indiana got back Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. So I am going to start with King on this one.
Indiana. Indiana. I don't know what Sacramento was thinking. Sacramento hasn't proven that they have a decent management at all. So I don't know why we expect anything else. I have no clue what Sacramento was doing. I have none. I know bonus is like I guess a decent and former all-star, but he doesn't, I guess, really fill your holes of what you need now because now you have no shooting at all. Again, we go back to the whole I said on Philadelphia, who's going to shoot, but this team is even worse. It's like they have no shooters, and then they just gave up a guy that could possibly be their best player on their team, like Indiana. Just that's it.
All right. All right. Will, what you got?
I agree. It was this trade actually surprised me too. Like I knew that Indiana was trying to get rid of some of the talent just to be able to build something like just get basically get some assets. But with Halliburton headed there, it was like, how did they? How were they able to finesse that one? You know, because that's what it feels like. You were able. So Indiana's been struggling when it comes to scoring. Now they actually have someone that when he's on. When it comes to Halliburton, then they got from dealing with Sabonis, who's been struggling. What the past year and a half ish, he's been struggling for Indiana. So now they got him off the books and him to Sacktown, which I mean the way that the front office is acting, it is a good name for Sacktown that they've been sacked in. It's just terrible. But yeah, I agree with King. Like it's a lot of when it comes to a lot of the front offices, you understand what they're building towards. You have the Nets. The Nets struggle. They have the offense and KD Kyrie. They also had Harden, but Harden wanted to get out of there, and so you have another team that wants to get rid of their player. So hey, you know they must be tired of each other if or tired of their players if they're doing a trade within a division with these top players, but they wouldn't got their defense with shooters. Like this is something that's what they needed, and they wouldn't got that. For Indiana, they needed some scoring. They needed some athleticism to go put on the court, so they wouldn't got Halliburton. For Sacramento, they got a big man who doesn't really defend too well. He can get you, well, on a good night, about 20 points or so. Uh, he can grab some rebounds as well, but I just feel like they gave up too much to be able to, when it came to just trying to do something. It felt like they just did something just to be doing something on the trade deadline, and it's just going to be terrible for them for a while. And I actually feel bad for the fans themselves.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas, what you got, man?
Same thing. I don't really care.
Yeah,
Making my points. I'm mundane. I don't care. But true, they probably Sacramento probably just wanted a big name to get there for some reason. I mean, I'm gonna say sell tickets, but they probably been sold out because it's a small city. Everybody gonna go to do something anyway. But to give up that young piece like they did, to give him up and not even wait to him truly develop, and now he about to go over here and possibly shine bright like a diamond and take over for them boys. And that's on them. Maybe Sacramento just wanted something right now. You know what I'm saying? And so they wanted something right now. They got something right now, and that's all they got. Next person. That's strange.
All right, Real. What you got, man?
I gotta disagree with Will 100% on this one. So I look at this in different ways, right?
All right.
When you look at it in the fact of Indiana, we've been hearing all year, Indiana just ready to blow it up in general because what they had was not working. They either had to get rid of Sabonis or Miles Turner. And so now that they got rid of Sabonis, it's going to give Miles some extra room down there to kind of operate a little bit more because both of them down there, because Sabonis is not known as a spacer, so you had two guys clogging the paint. And so, and plus, Miles was more of a little bit more of a spacer than he was, but that's not really his strength. He can go out there and shoot, but they want him more in the paint. So you can have both of those guys down there. And you get more in return for Sabonis because he gives you monster double-doubles. The dude is a beast on the boards, and he's a physical beast down in the paint. He can score down there easily. And so they saw the fact that, okay, we got a guy like that. We've been trying to look for a player to team up with De'Aaron Fox. So they looked at it as that. Because you telling me you trade Marvin Bagley for Domantas Sabonis? That's a no-brainer. I take that every day, twice on Sunday, with no questions asked. And so that's what they got out of that trade for him. But as far as Indiana, like I said, just wanted to switch some things up. They got Halliburton, which to the death of me, I don't understand how they got that player.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're crazy.
I think that's what he's saying, bro.
We've been hearing for the longest that it was going to be Fox. Because matter of fact, didn't they say that beginning of like halfway through the season? They kept saying like it was just rumors that Fox was going to be traded and all that stuff.
Before the season, they were talking about Fox.
Yeah. And so that's why when that trade went down, that confused the hell out of me. I was like, I thought that Fox would have been the first one to go, and like I said, with a guy like, and then I know y'all saw the tweets that Halliburton had. He was kind of hurt too, man, behind that. But like King said, look at how Indiana's getting built right now. They might not do something this year, but give Indiana maybe like 2 years. Next year and a year after that,
they got talent.
They're gonna be a problem in the East, bro. Yeah, they're gonna be a problem. And in the same breath, we're trying to figure out how you get Chris Forte and you get Tyrese Halliburton, bro. They're pretty much the same exact player, bro. They being selfish, bro. They need to get one of them guys up, bro. You being selfish. Rick Carlisle, that's King's favorite.
I was gonna shed some light on that's a different backcourt now with Darte and Halliburton back there.
Oh yeah.
That's that's a little
And they
scary
can
if
move
they
Chris to the three.
yeah, you could. Uh, that does feel clear the middle up for Miles to do what he needs to do. Sacramento is kind of weird. I don't really understand what they're doing either. You ship
Kinda.
out you ship out Buddy Hill, you ship out Halliburton, and then you bring in DiVincenzo. You know, he was a part of the other deal that they had.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like you eliminate what, like King said, who gonna shoot the ball? Who, who's gonna shoot?
Yeah.
So I feel like, to me, I think Indiana won this for me. Um, and so, not last but not least,
Before you
I
go to the
felt
next one, let me one thing. I feel
okay.
like it would have made sense if they would have traded De'Aaron Fox and like Harrison Barnes
Yeah, that would have made sense.
for that trade. It made sense because you'd had Halliburton playing with Sabonis. The,
Hmm.
the
Yeah, that would
reason the
have been nice.
trade looks crazy is because you got De'Aaron Fox playing with Sabonis now. So
Right.
you just
Both of
back
them can't
off of any
shoot.
pick and roll. Just back off. That's all you
Yeah.
got to do. You don't. There's no reason to play up on a pick and roll. So it just messed their whole team up. Like they chose the wrong guys to trade. I feel like.
Hmm.
Got it. All right. So this next one, I'm gonna bring it home with this one. You know, the trade between the Dallas Mavericks and the Washington Wizards, where Washington receives Kristaps Porzingis and a second round pick, and Dallas gets Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. So I'm gonna start with the We Talk Mavs crew, with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead, Rail. What you got, man?
Oh, we already know who won this trade. It's not even a question. For you to get rid of a contract like KP, we've been advocating for that for the last 18 and a half years to get rid of this dude's contract. We already know who won. Like I said, I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts and stuff in different cities and stuff, and a lot of them they say they want it. They think the Washington people think they won the trade, and so hey, good luck to you, man, with KP, man. Hopefully it's not another one of those Chandler Parson incidents, man, where them knees is out of there, because look, we already know, and it's not just with Dallas. This has happened in New York too. So we know this dude's history, and it's not like all of a sudden, you know what? I'm in Washington now. I'm healthy. It's like, nah, he's gonna continue to have these problems, and with his size and with his frame, it's gonna become a hindrance, man, for him for the next however long he's gonna be in the league. You're not gonna get him for a full season. You're not gonna even get him close to a full season. You're gonna probably end up getting him for at least about 60% of the games every year. That's what you're gonna get. And you're paying him star, max, all NBA team starting in the All Star game money for a guy's only going to play 60% of the time and only going to give you a third option type of number. So, hey, the guys we got are guys that can fit a certain role. We already have the depth and everything on this team. It's like you add some guys like that can add a different type of facet to this team. Like I said, I feel like we won this trade hands down, man.
All right, King, what you got?
I agree 100% with my mad brother on this one. Uh, I do think we won the trade. I know other folks aren't talking about it. I think the Mavs did a good job of pumping up that KP's better this year narrative, which I appreciate because
Right.
I think now people are saying they got rid of KP. And it's like, if you really watch the Mavs, okay, we got rid of KP.
That's how you
But
know they don't watch the Mavs.
exactly. So they pumped it up. I'm glad they did that. But I do think the two guys from Washington are going to actually help us, and they're going to do better than what they were currently doing for the Wizards, playing with a guy like Luca. I also heard, I'm not 100% true. I mean, I'm sure if this is true, but that neither one of their contracts are 100% guaranteed contracts. Their contracts are based off of how many games they're played. If that's true, then the Mavericks can freak around with that a little bit to get rid of contracts. And also the point that it's now two guys making about 15 mil to 18 mil or whatever, instead of one guy making 35 mil, it's much easier to get rid of. It's easier. It's an asset right there in the case of that. and then we get off the money a year earlier. This can help us with things we have questions on right now. Jalen Brunson, is he a long-term fit? Well, we have somebody that can possibly be the other option if he doesn't do it. We have a guy, Tim Hardaway. We can somehow get rid of him, we got a guy that can possibly take his spot. So I think this actually narrows the holes that the Mavericks have in their team, actually, and that they can really just go for that one last piece, which is a big man, I believe, that will put the team over the top.
Hey, Daryl, let me say one more thing. Well, a couple things to what King was saying. So the way that their contracts are after this season, they'll both have 2 years left. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much in the same window as KP. But like you said, they're both making half of what KP is making. So if you want to take one of those guys, it's easier to move them compared to trying to move all of KP's 35. And so, and on top of that, the one thing I've been saying, this team has always been known for having a 6-man. Will, you've been screaming for the bench to be built up. You got a guy now that can consistently get you consistent numbers off the bench now. You don't have to count on Tim Hardaway getting you 3 points today, 11 points tomorrow. Then he might give you 1 point, make 1 3 out of the whole entire game after that. You finally got somebody who at his top end averaged about 25 points a game in a large stretch of a season. And we've seen it firsthand. But, you know what I'm saying, he can get you 25 and 5 easily. And we haven't had a guy like that to come off the bench in a while, probably since Jason Terry, where we had a consistent guy coming off the bench where you know when he comes in here, he's going to get you between 15 to 20 points consistently every night. And you have that with Spencer Dinwiddie. And like King said, they didn't play with a guy like Luka in Washington. So now you're going to have somebody who's going to make your game easier. Because when you play with Bradley Beal, we love Bradley Beal, but he's not Luka. And Bradley Beal's not looking to set people up in certain positions and so in certain situations. So now you have that with Luka. You get these guys those opportunities that they weren't getting in Washington because we've seen before they went to Washington what they done. And they've done that for the bulk of their career compared to like their 2 years in Washington. So I'm going to go with the time before Washington. I feel like that's what they are as players. So like I said, you get those players, play them with Luka, and then we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right, Thomas, what you got?
I got 2 real quick things. I'm not a KP fan, so we could have traded him for a wet paper towel. My bad. It could have been dry. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be bouncy. It could have been great value brand, Target brand, Costco. You know, it could have been a paper towel from 7-Eleven. I would have took it. You know what I'm saying? So we get that off the books. I'm gonna always speak that truth. Nothing else about it. Number 2, right? I'm not a big THJ fan either. But let me tell you what, I believe this. You know what I'm saying? Trash sometimes. But let me tell you what this does. I think this put pressure on him, right? You got somebody who can come and do the same thing you can do. Possibly better.
Yep.
Better.
Right?
Yeah, better, yeah.
And so now, what this makes you do, instead of me getting those 1 point or 3 point games, and guess what? I know they got to put me in the game because I'm the only other option. Say, no, we ain't got to do this. You're going to play 4 minutes tonight.
You better get it.
You're going to pay, and that 4 minutes better be productive. And if not, we just got somebody in that's going to take your points. Going to take your points and your play time. And we know he hungry. We know he wanted, you know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, he came from a situation where he could have been with the Nets and all that good stuff and just they had to trade him, whatever the case may be. And the time with, like Real said, the time with the Nets, he was the man. He was the man. So I think he put pressure on Tim, and I think Tim need to act right real fast. And if Tim don't act right real fast, he gonna be out of there real fast. Because that's another contract for me. You give me 2 pencils and an eraser, I'm good. Get them out the way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about them boys.
I thought you loved them. I don't know what's going on.
Man,
y'all need to
have the
think
jersey
about
and everything, Thomas. Yeah.
y'all need to think about this team though. If Tim Hardaway Jr. actually plays in the playoffs, I got you. You said, but think about he's still a guy that can do something.
It's not that he can't do nothing. It's that he's too inconsistent. And for the amount of money that we're paying him, right? I think he need to produce more, and I think he need to produce on a better frequency. I'm not saying he can't have bad games. I'm not saying it does not happen, but he does it too much. And because guess what? He technically was the second option for 3 years. Then KP, and even with KP there, he's still a second option. Who else do they have to go to? So he know he gonna get that playing time. But now you got somebody who can do the same thing. And so if you don't perform and you performing lackluster, oh, you just won't play. You have to ride the bench, or we're gonna put you in them garbage minutes. So I think this lighted a fire. I think it should light a fire under him and say, "Let me get my act together." That's just me.
But I'm just saying, Tim's the fourth option now, if not the fifth. Like that's what I'm saying. And when if he comes back in the playoffs, he doesn't have to be the third or the second option anymore. We have Tim Hardaway Jr. as our fifth option. That's what I'm saying. They're not thinking about it net. Oh, I get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm correct. He shouldn't be a fifth option. But I'm saying for this year, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be our fifth option. That's awesome.
Oh, my bad. I don't like him, so I don't care.
So I mean, when he get that 3 point time, it's going to be a heavy.
That's fine, but if he gives us a 25-pointer as well, being the fifth option, that's going to be awesome as well.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, Ben. I appreciate it.
All right, Will, what you got, man?
First and foremost, Jay, he wants to send his regards to KP. He loves KP on this team, you know what I'm saying? Also, for Fred, he asked about the Finney Smith contract. Personally, I like it. I feel like that we got it on the cheap because the way that he's been playing, that contract could have got fat. But with this, so when it comes to KP, I want for them to wait on it. The Mavs front office is the reason I feel like a lot of people don't like KP because when they talk about KP, it's the money, and the Mavs front office at the time was just they made that deal against themselves. He didn't want that max contract. He just wanted to basically want like a 1-year deal or whatever. And then the Mavs was like, "No, we'll give you this max. This max money is all you, bro. It's all you." And he get that max money comes max expectations, right?
Yep.
So, and that's where a lot of the hate towards KP came from is, hey, he got all this money, he's not performing, he's not on the court. But if he had like a 1-2 year deal where that money was shorter, it would be like, well, it was the money was lower. We had him for that little bit. He's off the books now. It is what it is. Washed of it. So I think it was more of the Mavs front office that got us to this point as far as the feeling towards KP. But overall, when it comes to this trade, I like it. Being able to get Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench, being able to get off that terrible contract as well. Hey, y'all remember in the group, I didn't expect them to do anything. Like I said, if it would have, with all the trades that was dropping, with all the trades that was dropping, first thing I was expecting was it's going to be 29 teams that had a trade, and Mavericks would have been that one team out of it. They didn't do anything, but there was like keep hope. They might surprise you. Like, man, whatever.
Girl with the new king at that moment.
Yeah, we won.
New king, the only two I know. Like, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a trade. I talked to you last night.
Exactly, it was crazy, but yeah, hey, they were able to get from under that contract, which is crazy. Spending 2 players, but yeah. So this so far. What Nico was able to do, being able to get it from that contract, being able to get Finney that new contract, to me is a team friendly deal as well. So those 2 things are looking up. And then y'all favorite beat writer, Tim McMahon, said that Rick Carlisle had more. He cared more about, basically, I'm paraphrasing now, cared more about KP than what Kid did. But Kid got more value for KP than what Carlisle did. Because Carlisle played him wrong. Kid played him right when he was actually on the court. And now you're able to flip 1 for 2 for the most part. So I think it was, I think this deal was a good one. especially when you actually have players that will be on the court more often now as well, which is a big thing. So at this point, it's basically going for one of those top four seeds and being able to get home court for that first round at this point.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna go on record and say I said Nico got something up his sleeve. I said it, and I'm gonna claim it. Being a non, I'm the only one on here that is not a Mavs fan that was like, y'all got Nico here for a reason. He got
Yeah.
something up
Man,
his sleeve.
bro, I know. King slipped you a little something in your
Nah,
in your chat,
man.
man.
I, I
Got him for a reason. You're right.
You got to report that to Joe Biden now.
y'all brought him in for a
Nah.
reason. Nico got to do his job, and he did his job. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I like Spencer Dinwiddie when he was in Brooklyn. I didn't understand why the fit didn't work in Washington because it was a locker room chemistry issue. But I like Spencer Dinwiddie. Davis Bertan, he was pretty much getting pushed into the background in Washington with the influx of the bigs that was coming in. So, he kind of sat in the background. Um, I feel like this move for Washington is another one of those. I don't know what they're doing because you make this trade to offload Westbrook last year. You bring in Harold, and then you flip him and trade him, and then you make this trade to bring in KP, and then this doesn't make your team more attractive. This doesn't make Bradley Beal be like, I want to stay here. Bradley Beal,
Right.
I feel like is in another situation, is another one of those Dame situations. I don't publicly want to say that I want to leave, but I want out of here. And their moves were kind of a head scratcher. I do see that some of the comments say the big man shortage on you guys' side is a little worrisome.
Yeah, especially
Um,
after last night.
I feel like if if you need to, somebody gonna get bought out. That
Yeah.
you can fill that hole somewhere. Overall, I do like this move for the Mavs. It makes sense to me to come up off of a contract that just is going to be a detriment to you. There, y'all got a superstar, bona fide, hands down. You strike when the iron is hot. The man is balling. He put up a 50-piece last night.
Yeah.
You get him in the prime position to be able to take that jump and make that move. And y'all are climbing up the standings, whether people are paying attention or not. Y'all are running up the standings, and you ain't gonna be able to deny Luka forever. I'm just gonna go on record saying it. Being here and watching him put the league on notice. You're not gonna be able to stop this man for long. And once he gets the pieces that he needs to flourish all the way, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary hour out here. Um, I feel like Dinwiddie does push Tim Hardaway Jr. out the door. I know Thomas would love that. I like Finney Smith the way that he plays. I like his ruggedness. I like how he hits a shot when you need him to.
Yes,
Like
sir.
from watching the games, I know national televised games don't do y'all justice at all. But watching the national televised games when I do see him, Finney Smith hits shots when you need him to. He hits them and he plays his role. So you need those pieces. You need those guys to be able to play those roles. Um, this team is interesting. Y'all have a very interesting team, and the ceiling is nowhere in sight. Y'all got it's nothing but up from here for the Mavs. Um, these guys, Luka, Jay, I like Jalen Brunson. Um, watch out. That's all I'm gonna say. To anybody that's not a Mavs fan watching this, watch out. These guys are dangerous. Um, watch out for 2023 as well. That cap space for the Mavs in 2023 gonna be crazy. And if I'm a superstar and I'm watching this other star kill the game the way he is,
Come on.
I'm
Come on.
coming. I'm
Come
coming.
on.
Like that's
Come
just
on.
honest truth. I'm gonna plug this in, and I know King will be happy about this. I feel like next Sunday we're gonna see a coming out party in the All-Star game.
I told you.
I feel like I see, and the reason why I say that is because I've been paying attention and watching how he played now, watching how he move. I know on the earlier video, I said I don't feel like he had that dog in him, but you said he needs to take it personal, and I feel like he's starting to take it personal. And now, to me, watching him play in this All-Star game and the team that he is on, that team that he is on is going to be like, all right, now I really got to act up because now I'm on. I'm just going to cut straight to that. I am on Team LeBron with Giannis, Steph, and LeBron. I got to act up. I got to show them that I am here. And I feel like he's going to do that. I'm going to be watching. But I feel like he is going to take that next jump and be like, I've arrived.
Yeah. It's time to recruit.
Yeah,
You out
exactly.
That
That
part. Time to
part.
recruit. It's time to be out there and show those guys why they want to play with you. It's time.
Yep. Most definitely.
Go talk
Most
to Zach
definitely.
Levine, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. And we getting close to wrapping up. So I want to do something real quick. I want to do a quick buy or sell on a few teams. By them either staying packed, making a move. Do you believe you buying on this team or you selling on this team? So I'm gonna do a quick few. First one on this list is: are we buying and selling on Cleveland Cavaliers?
As
They
far as
added They added Karis LeVert. So are we
I'm
buying
buying.
or are we selling?
I'm
You
buying.
buying? Okay.
as far as making the playoffs, they're gonna make the playoffs. Yes. I thought it was a good trade.
Okay.
So I'm buying.
All right. You buying?
Yeah.
Thomas, you buying? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next team, Miami Heat. We buying on the Miami Heat or we selling on them?
They're gonna
I know the
like
popular thing is to say buy though, but
Yeah.
Honest opinion on buying or selling.
I
We're not doing the popular. We're doing the honest truth.
I dislike the Heat, but I'm buying. They have a chance to go to the finals.
I think so too. I think so too. I think with Kyle coming there, man, and them boys playing. I know they starters ain't played a lot, but they number one.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous. They starters ain't playing, but when they starters play, they obviously good. But when they starters not ain't playing, they still beating people. And so I think they might be, you know what I'm saying, guess what? We did beat them boys. And we lost.
Dallas and
Them boys
Miami again?
beat us. No, we coming back for the boys.
Third time. The third time.
Yeah, they added a point guard. And guess what we did? We added a point guard. So now let's see, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna buy on them, man. I'm gonna buy on them.
I like that.
Okay. All right. Next team, Memphis Grizzlies. Are we buying on Memphis or are we selling?
King.
It depends. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what we're saying we buying them for. Is it just making the playoffs? Is it?
Do we see them make advancing or moving past
Making a run?
Yeah, making a run.
I can see him winning
a solid run.
Ooh.
How does it play in?
Right now?
I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy. I know I go at the John and Luka thing all the time, and I think we can beat Memphis. But say we don't play Memphis, I think Memphis has a chance against the other teams as well. I'm a buy.
Right. About too. I think they got some good defense.
Oh, they'll play Denver. Nah, they're not making a deep run.
I think they could beat Denver. You don't think they could beat Denver?
Yeah, they'll beat Denver. Yeah.
Nah, Denver will be healthier come playoff time.
Yeah.
But they're not. But you got to remember, those guys been out for a long time.
Yeah.
If you banking on Murray, who probably one of the most inconsistent players in the history of basketball, to be that guy, after being out for pretty much a full year. Nah, I'm taking Memphis. Plus they hot right now. They got Jai, they got Baines, they got Triple J. You know what I'm saying? They got depth. Nah, and plus they will
They
get
got
home
depth,
court
but
advantage. I'll take.
they were just in the play-in last year though, right?
And then they put out Steph Curry.
And they put out Seth Curry.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
they did. But I'm thinking with Will, they might beat that one-on-one game, game, but to get them young boys in a whole series, right? It might be different. I'm not saying they can't do it. It might be a whole type.
I don't think this year
because it's their first series.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving up on them.
It's their second. They played last year. Remember, Ja went off in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, Ja went off last year.
Yeah, he went off last year in the playoffs.
They lost last year, right?
Yeah, they lost. So this is their second
they'll
time
lose
around.
this year too. They'll lose this year too.
I got them playing Denver. No, they're a good team. I think it's gonna be a long series.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a long series.
No, I think they're not.
They been watching Memphis.
No, they're making a run. I'm just talking trash. You know, I talk trash.
Who does Denver have other than Joker?
Yeah, that's all they got is Joker. Which is why we didn't even say I want to play them first round. We can make that 4 or 5 matchup.
They got DeMarcus Cousins too. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on now. He just signed for the rest of the year, didn't he? You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
DeMarcus Cousins sighting in the building.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. One more team. I mean, 2 more teams. I'm gonna do 2 more and then we're gonna wrap. The next team, are we buying or selling on the Utah Jazz? I know they have a lot of turmoil going on over there right now. Are we selling or buying?
I'm selling.
I just want to put them in the first round.
I'm selling.
I'm doing whatever King said.
I am selling, and I'm hoping to get Rudy Gobert next year.
I like this guy.
Ooh, look at Thomas's face. Thomas, what's the face for, brother?
Oh, first of all, I agree. If he comes to the Mavericks, now if we go back to some of these videos before, I said we can get somebody cheap, which was Hassan Whiteside. I said that a long time ago. And so he come in, he played his role over there right now. But if we could get Rudy, what are you talking about? Rudy, sure up that front. Man, get out of here.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Ooh, that defense will be something serious.
All right.
I think Rudy get better offensively playing with Luka too.
Yeah.
I'm loud.
All right.
Stupid, boy.
This one right here. Go ahead, Will.
If LeBron would have chose Rudy, we would have been able to see what he could do on Sunday.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
We know why that went like that. Come on, man. We know why that went that way. All right. This last one, I want to hear what everybody got to say. You know, it's been the talk of all over media.
I know what it is.
Don't be talking about my guy. That's my guy.
The Los Angeles Lakers. Are we buying or are we selling?
Man.
Sorry, brother. I'm selling.
Hey.
It's over, man.
Yeah, you my boy, but I'm gonna have to sell that thing. I'm gonna have to sell it, man.
LeBron going back to Cleveland and Anthony Davis going to Chicago.
Well, I don't think LeBron will leave.
I think LeBron going wherever Bronny goes.
What is LA's plan, Daryl? What are they playing? What are you hearing? Like what? Because we got a lot of reports that came out afterwards that they were thinking about doing this or they were thinking about doing that. It's like what are they trying to do? Because it's like they put all their chips in the table to get that one championship they got.
Yeah, I'll agree. So I was a big fan of the team that won the championship.
Me too.
Big fan. I wouldn't have moved Kuzma, Harold, let Caruso walk. Wouldn't have did it. I would have took KCP. I definitely wouldn't have moved my 2 best defenders when we're struggling on defense, crippled basically on defense. I don't know if they forgot, but defense wins championships. I don't know.
That's what they say.
And that's what they played.
It's proven
when they won. Right?
Yeah, it's defense wins championships. Defense and leadership and people knowing their roles. You got a bunch of guys that don't know their role. They got a bunch of guys that just want to do whatever they want to do. Um, I honestly do not know what their plan is. You trying to hold on to a pick that's in 2027 that
Hmm.
you basically you're not gonna have no assets to add between now and 27 anyway. What are you going? You don't have any picks. You don't have nothing in the chamber. Nothing. Zero. What are you doing? You pulled the trigger on Westbrook thinking that it was like, okay, I got a big three. Yay, we can do that. But you let all of your defense walk away. You let it all go. You can't let your defense go away, bro. Like, I don't understand it. And I watched I didn't even want to watch the whole Portland game because I felt in my spirit they was gonna lose their game.
Gonna lose.
It was bad too.
And
All
it
bad.
is it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch and this is a team I've loved my whole life. It's hard for me to sit here and watch what has happened. It's atrocious. It's sad. Rob Pelinka, you floundering in the water. You more like Rob Lowe right now than Rob Pelinka. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what you doing over there, Doc. AD and Bron, you playing on their time frame. You put all your eggs in the THT when I would have rather had Caruso. If you look at what Caruso has done in Chicago before he got hurt, Caruso changed him and Ball changed the defensive climate in Chicago. You don't let Caruso walk. You bring in Buddy Hield, or you bring in DeMar DeRozan. You plug them into that team, and you're not having this problem that you're having right now because you still have your defense. You have a solid mid-range shooter in DeMar DeRozan.
Man,
People sleeping on DR right now. He is balling out of his mind in Chicago. You plug that in with AD and Bron and that defense that you already had, that's a foregone conclusion. We're not having this conversation in my mind. And we're not looking at the decline and crumbling of the franchise of the Los Angeles Lakers. And the real issue is there are too many Chiefs over there and not enough Indians. You got Rob Pelinka trying to run the team. You got Kurt Rambis telling them what to do. You got Frank Vogel and the coaching staff trying to tell Rob Pelinka and Kurt Rambis what to do. It's too many people with their hands in the pot. And I know I didn't took this over because I know it's supposed to be a buy sell.
Your show, man. Your show.
But you didn't took too many risks. Now you're thinking of what are you gonna do with Westbrook? What you gonna do next year? Because it's gonna be the same issue. I don't really see the fix if you keep him past this year because if I'm Westbrook, I'm not turning down $47 million.
Absolutely not.
Oh no,
I'm not opting out. You're going to deal with me for a whole nother year. Another year off of Bron's prime, and you know he don't like to lose.
Yep.
You gonna take another year off of AD, which you mortgage the whole farm to get.
Yep, that's the problem.
You made too many moves where you were banking on a big two, and you pillaged the village. It's gonna be kind of like that stretch they had the years between Magic's retirement and Shaq and Kobe. That's what we're gonna be looking at in LA. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be some years coming that we're gonna be in the tank, in a cellar. Because if I'm Bron and once my son gets drafted, he's already made it known I'm going where he going. So whether that's Cleveland, New York, wherever, that's where he going. He gonna walk away.
Yeah, I believe it.
No, point blank, period. And if AD starts to lose more again, he gonna find his way out too. Look what he did in New Orleans. I'm out of here. And then you're gonna be sitting there with a GM that basically is gonna get fired. That's gonna happen.
It looking
Frank
like
Vogel, Frank Vogel gonna lose his job. Robert Lincoln gonna be gone, and then you're gonna have a team that's gonna be in the wind, kind of like how New York Knicks are and have been for the last couple of years, decade maybe. I don't want to kill the Knicks like that, but that's where you're heading. That's where you're heading. You don't have no assets. You don't have nothing.
You going too far,
You
there.
hey,
Talk to
I don't
me.
really,
Talk to
Y'all
me.
still the
I don't
Lakers.
really get.
Y'all still the Lakers. People gonna want
We-
to come.
we
Eventually.
still the
Go,
Lakers.
go.
We still the Lakers. But at the end of the day, you need to be more attractive. Okay, so say for example, you get 2 stars to come there on them same type of contracts that LeBron and AD got. What are you going to build around if your cap space is tied up in the 2 stars? You're going to have a whole bunch of mid-level exceptions of 37-year-old men.
2027.
And by that time, they're going to be an afterthought.
You're right.
So
But you'll get someone else though. That ain't a
It'll
long
be-
time for any other franchise. It's just for y'all.
it's gonna be it's a long time for us because that's not what we do.
Mm.
That ain't what we do.
Spoiled brat.
Everybody know this is not what we do. We sit dormant for a little while. You have a struggling season or 2, and then we're back. You know, like we never left. But this time it's like, okay, we done mortgaged the farm, and this season is dead. I'm just gonna say it. I don't see them changing it around. People are talking about bring Russ off the bench, let him play with the second team. I don't see that working either. You know, because you put him on the second team. It's just not. I don't see the fit. It's not a good fit. Just point blank. It's not a good fit. It's terrible. It was a terrible move. Man. Go ahead.
I just want to say, there's only 2 point guards in the league that I think are true point guards, right? Of course, my favorite is CP3. The next one is the dude they traded. He's in Cleveland now. I still believe in that. It's Rondo. And so, if you have Russ, right? Or if you have Rondo, you don't need Russ. They're the same player. Russ is just a little more athletic. I believe Rondo can control the game more. He controls the game a lot more. He plays better with AD and LeBron. It was proven they won a championship. Down the stretch, guess what? When they needed them threes, Rondo can't shoot. Motherfucker was like, I'm sorry. Dude was like 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6.
Yes, sir.
And guess
That's
what?
it.
He was not scared to shoot him because he had that championship caliber in him and he knew what was expected of him. He didn't lose confidence. Russ has lost confidence, and we get it. So, therefore, like you was talking about defense, right? There is no way you tell me you let Caruso walk and we sign THT, and THT, he's an 8th round pick, and we going to say, listen, dog, we know you had that one game in Houston where you played good, but we was going to beat them anyway. They tallest dude was 6'4". We was going to beat them anyway. We glad you came in and gave us 15. Right? We're glad you came in. I'm not about to mortgage my future for those 15 points that one game that were 8 games ago. I'm gonna keep Caruso and tell THC, listen here, you can come back one more year and see what you got, and then we could get you. But right now, I'm about to keep this defense. I'm gonna keep what we got. Like you said, I love when they won their championship. They played defense. LeBron was technically their point guard. Though they had Avery Bradley and KCP on the wing, technically point guard, LeBron averaged 10.2, 10.1 assists. He was their point guard. They was their wings. They was on defense, right? LeBron was defense, whatever, but AD was doing what he was doing. They had Joel McKee. So, because what they did was, once they got Russ, they tried to go back and get all them other boys that they had from that first championship. Avery Bradley. Here come Dwight Howard. Here come Rondo. It's not there no more. It's not the same team. It's not the same team. Not one bit. So you give all this stuff up and you get nothing in return. And when I say nothing, you get nothing. And if we just be honest with you, even from last year, right? And we know AD is injury prone, But even from last year, if AD don't get hurt, the Lakers beat the Lakers beat the Suns. We're not playing like they not. They just reeled off two in a row. They lost. I think they lost them first two. They about to come back and beat the boys. I believe it.
I
I'm
feel
believing it.
I feel the same. I feel the
So
same. You
if
know,
AD don't get hurt, and we know AD is supposed to be the foundation of that team, and if he's gone, it's nothing we could do. It's nothing. But
yeah.
you got that team, and you bet it on Russell Westbrook. Man, get out of here. THT. I mean, dude, that's who you
And I
mortgage your
mean,
future for him.
right now they banking
Jesus
on
Christ.
THT to turn it around. They
It's not
banking
gonna happen.
on Kendrick Nunn to come in and take a big chunk of that off. They're hoping that Houston buys out Dennis Schroeder so they can bring him back. It's a whole bunch of Hail Marys and ain't nobody throwing the 5 yard pass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
hey,
you
I'm sorry. God,
go
dog.
ahead.
This is what
Go
I want
ahead.
to say too. I said it before in our text, in our chat. I said, why not trade Russ for a Wall, right? But
Mhm.
why not trade Russ for Wall and get them something that they want, the Rockets, because they want them young boys. Give them THP and give us Eric Gordon. Because now we have a proven scorer. He injury prone too, but he can score the ball better than THT. So I'm thinking, why not do that trade? And since you know already mortgage your future, get the boys another first pick. You ain't got nothing anyway. Go and give it up. You ain't got nothing. Give it to them, and let's see what you can do right now. Because you might could surprise somebody in the playoff, in the play-in with that team. But that's just me. I'm done, man. Y'all do what y'all want to. Them Lakers, they
Hey,
got the match.
you good, bro? Pharaoh, I love LeBron, and he's one of my favorite players of all time. He's one of them. But he messed your team up. I feel like even the AD trade was not the best trade to happen. I think we all say what happened if AD didn't get injured last year. Well, AD gets hurt. That's what AD does, and y'all banked on him to be the number one guy at this point. And I'm still watching AD go up against every guy that's his competition or like his peer and getting murdered by these guys. Like just showing up small in these situations. That guy's nowhere near being a number one guy. He's probably meant to be a number two, and you got him thinking he'd be a number one for the future while LeBron went to his twilight. And the Russell Westbrook thing, just another piece of the puzzle, was just messed it up because it's only been I think less than a year since you guys won a championship, like in total time and all somewhere around there. So in all that time, LeBron James, he got his last championship. I feel like personally, I think that's his last one. I think he went through the NBA gods gave him his easiest one that he could have possibly got because all the rest of them have been like difficult or like tasks other than maybe the first one. And it just is what it is now. Like you guys, there's no way Russell Westbrook is going to make $47 million next year off the bench. That's no way. That's
Unheard
unbelievable. And
of.
you have nothing to give away to possibly get him off your team. It's just done. Like
They gonna
this
bring that
whole
amnesty clause back in for 1
they
year.
better for LeBron. Yep, he better.
The
Adam Silver, you
amnesty
better
rule.
hope he bring the MC clause one more time for LeBron and them to
One
say
time. Him
get
and
rid of him.
Wall.
Cause you don't have nothing to give. Like
You have
just
nothing.
being real, you have nothing to give. You still got a contract on your books for a player that ain't played in almost 8 years. I feel like. When was the last time we seen Lou Aldang?
Yeah.
He's
17,
still on the books. He's
17.
still
This is
16.
there.
last year though. This is last year, I think.
Yeah, it's the
But
last
that's
year.
That
we
$5
still
million.
It's still ridiculous.
Lou
Yeah, it is.
Aldang is still on the books. And you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no trade exemptions. We ain't got nothing.
We ain't got
Okay.
nothing.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna step off my soapbox. I'm gonna do probably a Laker segment here in the future because I feel like I opened up a box just then. Uh, man, I want to thank you all. Thank you guys, man, for coming on, man. It was very fun, very entertaining. You know, I had the opportunity to be able to say what I need to say, and congratulations to y'all, man. I'm gonna be the one to say y'all got a great foundation going on over there in Dallas, and the world need to pay attention. From a person that's on the outside looking in, y'all deserve a whole lot more attention than that y'all are giving. And I want to be the one to say, YouTube, man, build these guys up, man. Build this Mav fan base up. Makes make some noise. Drop some stuff, man. Like, pay attention because these are true fans. They're not just blowing y'all up. They're not just gassing y'all up. They're giving y'all straight facts. And I've tuned in and paid attention to what these guys are spitting, man, and they spitting straight facts. Straight hits, no chasers, man. Straight
Thank you,
hits.
brother. Thank you. He lying, but thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
Nah, I'm being honest. I'm being dead serious. Like real talk. No. I ain't got nothing to lose for this. Y'all doing y'all thing, and it's just the personal conversations I've had with y'all, knowing how much this team means to you guys, and I like the fact that the true basketball fan in you, the true fandom of being a Mavericks fan, is showing through the content that y'all are putting out. So keep doing that. I want to be the one to say, keep it up. Push that Luka magic out that you always pushing, King, because you got an unshakable faith in Luka Doncic. I look, and I see what you're talking about. I pay attention to what you're saying, and I see what you're talking about. Y'all do y'all thing, man, and I'm a push y'all if don't nobody else do. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So you like the content, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a whole lot more than you think. Yeah, right above, left, right. Follow We Talk Mavs on Twitter. Also TikTok, I want to say. Yeah. All right. Also, coming soon. We're gonna have more We Talk NBA. I'm gonna have some different guests. I've been challenged to take this on, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and put my foot down and shake the ground a little bit. And one last thing before I go, man. Before we wrap this thing up, happy early birthday to the CEO, the man, the mastermind, the guy that brought us
Appreciate
all
it.
together. Real, man. Happy early birthday, bro.
Yup.
Appreciate
I
it,
took
man.
my shine. I was gonna try getting
Can't
on the
wait.
show tomorrow.
Plug,
Hey, I'm gonna
shameless
take a
plug
nap for my
now.
birthday.
All right, guys. It was an honor. Appreciate y'all for giving me an hour of y'all time. And
It's a Jordan
yeah,
jersey of X. It's a Jordan jersey. Go Mavs. I still
I
love
ain't
my
got no
Mavs.
jersey on, y'all. I'm loyal. I'm loyal, y'all.
It's the 12, no name. Jordan.
Oh yeah. You did it, yeah. That's fire right there, bro.
Appreciate it.
sir.
Oh,
All
we
right,
done?
man.
I said we're gonna have the face.
Here we out.
Easy. That's smooth.
Klay Thompson's top 75.
Get out of here. Get out
Oh
of
yeah.
here. Get out of here with that shit. Get out of here. Yeah,